Okay, let me drag this out of the way. Okay, to be able to put two courses on a single terrain, what you have to do is be able to organize all of these tees, pins, and shot points, etc., into objects in your hierarchy. So what I normally do is I'll create a structure in the hierarchy, first with one called holes, and then a second game object under that for each individual course. And here I've created most of them for the old course. And then I separate them by front and back, so you can expand these or contract them so you can see things over here a little bit easier. So we still have to add one more object to the back, so let's do that. You right click on back, select create empty, click on it once, and then type in your new hole number, 18. And that gives us placeholders then for all 18 holes on the front. Now, you don't have to go through and create all the individual objects for the old course. All you got to do is copy this one and then paste it into the hierarchy, and it's going to put it in the I created a new object. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to paste. It's going to put it in the root of the hierarchy, so it's pretty easy to fix. All you got to do then is just rename this to new course, and then drag it and drop it on the holes. And now we have a second set of objects for the second course. And again, these are just placeholders for all of these items that you put on each individual hole. Now, the thing you want to be aware of, let me get rid of this one, just delete this. You can only have one of these active at a time, one course at a time. And you see right now they're both kind of dark. So what we want to do, first of all, is disable the new course. So just highlight it, come up in the inspector, and remove the check mark next to new course. Now you'll see it's kind of ghosted or grayed out, which means it's disabled. So now let's just place these items in the placeholder. And to do that, you have to go into debug mode. So we'll turn debug on. And we'll find them in the hierarchy. And here they are right up here at the top. So you just highlight them all to select them. And then drag them and drop them on the proper hole object. And so now they're located there, and now they'll always be there when you go to look for them. Now there's another way you can put them in there. If you don't do it all at once, what you can do is, let's move these out of here now. Put them back in the hierarchy. The other way you can do it is do a search for hole 1. And now you'll notice anything that starts with H01 will show in your search. Now, down here we have two H01s. One is dark and one is grayed out. And this is actually the placeholder for hole 1 in the new course. And so we know this is the one for the old course, and that's what we're working on. So again, we can do the same thing. Highlight the objects that we want, drag them and drop them on there. Now we go back to show all of the items in the hierarchy. You'll see they're placed in the proper placeholder. And you just, then after each hole, after you've done that, you turn the debug off. And you can go back and then draw your splines and put all your pins, etc., in place for the next hole. Turn debug on, come back, place them in the proper placeholder. Now when you get ready to build your course, you only want to have one of these enabled at a time. So if we want to build the old course, we make sure it is enabled. Let's click on the old course. Make sure it's enabled, and then make sure the new course is disabled. And again, when you want to build the new course, you would disable the old course and enable the new course. If you don't do this, when you build the course, you're going to get some real strange yardages. So that's one thing you want to be aware of. Now, when you go to build a course, depending on which one you're building, you're going to have to come up here into the information area, change the course name and maybe the splash screen and maybe the flags and maybe even the T markers if you have separate T markers for each individual course. But that's the only thing you have to do to separate the two courses when you build them. So we would type in new course here, or Bedminster new course, whatever you're going to call it. Build the course. Then when you come to build the old course, you disable the new course, enable the old course, come up here again, change this to your name of your the old course, reset the splash screen and flags if you have different flags, and you're all set to go. That way you can keep the two courses separated. And you'll notice now that I have the old course highlighted, the only thing that's going to show here is the items for the old course. If I disable the old course, you'll see that they disappear. And if I now enable the new course, if I had any items there, those would now be active on the terrain. So that's how you can keep track of them within what's on your terrain. This is an excellent way of organizing, particularly when the only way you can do it when you organize to have two courses on the same terrain. I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll come up with an answer.